Looking out at the garden now, it makes you feel kind of sad. You want to just say, whatever, there's nothing to do now. Might as well just throw in the trowel. But with that approach, you'll be robbing yourself of your own future harvests. If we take a peek back, only a few months ago, this garden was thriving. It was filled with so much food, it's hard to even believe that this is the same place. There's a quote that I love, and it says, "Make the past more valuable to serve you for the future." When we look back, we can reflect on what worked and what didn't work. We can take what we learned and invest that into the future to make sure next year is our best year ever. Check out this sad looking cherry tree right here. And this one over here too. They look dead and lifeless, but just a few months ago, they were loaded with so much fruit, you wouldn't even believe it. And this cherry tree right here, fruited for the first time in 6 years. It took a long time to get fruit, but man, was it worth the wait. It's the same principle when growing a garden. Even if your annual garden didn't do well this year or last year, you never know when it's gonna reach full maturity and fruit like the cherry did. Maybe it'll take 2 years, maybe it'll take 4 years, but when the big harvests start to come in, you'll be so happy that you stuck with it. It seems like a garden and nature in general have a way of rewarding people when they remain faithful. Right when we feel like quitting, and right when we feel like giving up on this year is when we need to dig in and press on and to prepare for next year's garden. Me and Tuck want to take a second to show some appreciation for everyone who's a part of Team Grow. This year, the food forest truly hit its peak. We had the most production we've ever had and the most food. We're still just kicking out so much food and we feel so blessed as a result of that. There were other accomplishments too. Almost a year ago now, we opened up the Team Grow shop and the response has been incredible from everyone. We've had such a blast doing it and we feel, just so fantastic that we can provide people with high quality gardening equipment so they can take their garden dreams to the next level. Also, to show our appreciation, we wanted to mention that we're having a massive Black Friday sale on the shop. Items like this, our popular seed bundle, will be 50% off. So there's some crazy savings at the shop right now. Tuck said that's not enough though. He wanted to add a few more things as I see him coming around. Tuck says he wants to give everyone who's watching this video an exclusive code to get $10 additional off to your Black Friday savings. All you have to use is code TUCK10 to get those extra savings. But there's still one more thing. Tuck also said that we should do our biggest giveaway ever. So what we're going to do is anyone who buys anything from the Team Grow shop this weekend will be entered to our biggest giveaway ever. All you have to do is buy something, you're automatically added, and you could just win a massive giveaway. This thing is gonna be definitely our biggest by far. So now is the perfect time to grab some of your garden gear for next year. When we reflect on our gardens, it allows us to see opportunities and then make refinements that will increase productivity. Over the last few years, one of the changes I made was I incorporated more raised beds into my food forest, especially these metal Vego raised beds. They've allowed me to grow more food and have increased overall productivity because they're easy to grow in, they're convenient, and they make growing just more enjoyable overall, which leads to bigger harvests. Plus, they'll last about as long as my fruit trees, so I don't have to keep replacing them like I would a wooden bed. The only thing about these deep raised beds that can be a little tedious is that they're so deep, so it can be a little extra work to fill the bottom. What I did on this bed was, in the spring, I loaded it up with logs and sticks at the bottom, and then I put my good soil on top, about 12 or 14 inches. And this bed has done incredible. The amount of production all season, it's like blown me away. I've got so many different harvests. And if you come around here, we still have so much food growing in here. Even like this head of broccoli, which I could grab. Look at the size of this broccoli. This is November. This is our third round of crops just in this raised bed here. And look at the size of this Swiss chard. For this tall bed, I did something a little different. I filled the bottom with only wood chips, and then the top 12 or 14 inches or so, I filled it up with just my homemade soil. The bed grew incredible. The production was very high. There were so many different kinds of fruits and veggies that I grew in this bed. Some of the cauliflower I pulled out of here was picture perfect, and I also grabbed some amazing cantaloupe from this bed. Tasted so good, and it was just amazing. I remember when I first got my metal raised bed years ago, I thought this is going to change the way people grow food in their own backyards. and it did. Now I think the next wave of beds that will change the way people grow is definitely going to be the elevated raised bed. I also see a big shift in home food production as people are starting to really wake up to the sad reality of our food system. Once people really start to realize on a bigger scale that we could be growing some of our own nutrient-dense cell-feeding medicine in our own backyards, and it's so good, not even money can buy this stuff, the only way to get food this good is to grow it yourself. I'm not saying that you have to grow all your food, but even growing a small amount of this high-quality organic food will supplement your diet and greatly help increase your overall health and wellness. I believe this bed will change the way people grow because it makes growing your own food more accessible for everyone. Me and Tuck also had a hand in designing this, so we love how functional it is and how good it looks too. Like the other tall raised beds, this thing is 32 inches tall, which is great to be able to work in and reach all your crops and stuff. One of the cool things about it is you don't have that wasted space at the bottom that you have to fill with a bunch of logs and sticks and stuff. Instead, we have this rack where we can just store some of our garden equipment right underneath it. Another cool thing about it is that it's 12 inches deep, which is ideal for almost all veggies. Even crops like carrots and peppers, they'll thrive in here. As you can see, crops like zucchini savoy, tatsoi, and even some of the deep-rooted crops like spinach thrive in this garden. Another cool thing about it is that it's 2 feet wide, so it gives you a good amount of growing space, but it's not 4 feet wide, which if you wanted to put this like on a patio or a deck and up against something, a 2-foot bed is perfect to be able to reach into. So we love that. If you do need more garden space though, the beds also come in different sizes. This is the 2-foot by 6-foot one, which I love. Back here we have a 2x4 one, and I also have another 2x8 one that I'm going to be adding. And overall, they're just such an incredible bed to work with, and I'm really proud and happy the way they came out. You guys really need to try one out. They'll turn literally your back deck into like a food producing machine. And it reminds me of like an old Bill Mollison thing where he talks about you want your herbs and some of your lettuces and stuff close enough to your back door that you don't have to get your slippers wet when it's raining. So this is something you can stick right outside your back door, grow your own food in the back, and it's a great way to just allow so many more people out there to grow their own food, even if they don't have a lot of space. Now, when your garden seems like it's starting to quit for the year, it's not the time for you to just sit back and take a break. It's the perfect time to get out there and get some important tasks done. For instance, to go around and get some of the stuff cleaned up and throw it in the compost pile. Also, if you have beds that you're not growing in, prepare those beds for spring, so all you have to do is just pop some seeds in when the time comes. Remove any of the weeds in the garden and any dead or dying branches, take those off your trees. It's also a good time to get your garlic planted still. And the most overlooked and potentially the most important task that so many gardeners forget to do is to journal, to reflect on this year. You could learn so much from what happened this year, especially your mistakes. So something as simple as like journaling when bugs come or some mistakes you made, you can now have a proactive approach for next year when those things show up because you have all the knowledge of everything that happened from this year. Something as simple as an insect netting can make a big difference and can make your harvest increase and your joy in the garden increase overall. Think about that, like that idea of investing in your future. Me and Tuck have been gardening for like 12 or 13 years now. So imagine taking 12 or 13 years of knowledge, experience, and journaling, reflecting on that, and investing all that into our 14th year. We're almost guaranteed to have garden success. That's today's video, growers. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you got something out of it. I know the garden looks grim, it doesn't look great. Me and Tuck have a lot of work to do out here, but that's why we wanted to make this video, to encourage everyone to press forward, to keep on, and to just let everyone know that it's 100% worth it to grow a garden. And that fruit tree I thought was a really good microcosm. Like, it took about 6 years to get fruit from it, but now that it fruited last year, it'll be fruiting every year in the future. So sometimes you need to invest a little bit of time in order to get your big harvest back, but overall, it's absolutely worth it. Tuck, firsthand, will tell you, chilling over here, the young king, the boss, working hard, never stops. He's been going hard. He was the inspiration for this garden, and he still inspires us every day. But me and Tuck also are thankful of you guys because you inspire us to grow more food, to improve, and we want to just get as many people growing food in their own backyard. That's the whole idea with Team Grow. We exponentially grow and have the whole backyard, everyone's backyard in the country filled with food. It's our absolute dream, and we're gonna continue to work towards that. We wanted to send a thank you to one of our new channel members, Scott Bryson. Thanks for being a part of Team Grow. Thanks for having your hand in everything we're doing back here. One more shot of the king before we let you go. Tuck, the boss, the young king, the leader of the channel, and James. We'll be back to you again real soon. We out.